afternoon, depending on the time zone you are currently in. Welcome to our great webinar. Today's topic is better normal. So the idea is how we can improve in the future. The topic will be presented by Gurvesh, Kenny, and Eric. Both are our colleagues from VMware, and Gurvesh is our strategic partnerships manager from Samsung America. One short information from my side. I'm your host, Jacob Bartoszek. If you want to ask any kind of questions or give us some information, please do not hesitate to use the question tab that you should be able to find on your screen. Gurvesh, the stage is yours.
Thank you for the introduction, Jacob. Hi, everyone. Gurvesh Bhutiani. I manage a partnership with VMware, and we've had a long-term partnership with VMware over the last 10 years or so, and we've done a lot of work together. This is really to, next slide, please, Jacob. And this is really to address the ever-increasing needs of our customers who are facing different kinds of challenges as they deploy mobile devices in the enterprise. Security being one of the top challenges. Next slide, please. So as our customers look at mobile devices for enterprise and their line of business and moving to the front line, security has been the number one concern. And we introduced Samsung Knox just to address that concern back in 2013 when it was launched. And Knox is really, a security platform which has evolved into also a management and productivity platform on top of Android Enterprise, as we worked over the last several years with Google to harmonize our platforms and their platforms together so that together with Google and Samsung, we have the best-in-class solution that is addressing all the security and productivity and management needs of our customers. So from a Knox perspective, we offer all of our devices come with security built into the device that gets turned on as soon as you turn on the device. We monitor the integrity of the entire system as the device boots up with trust zone integrity management architecture. And once the device boots up and everything comes online, we continuously monitor the integrity of our system resources and also unauthorized access to the any of the system resources using runtime kernel protection. So that, if any time there is any malicious activity, it is flagged in our devices. We have a trusted key store or TIMA key store that for securing credentials, but recently with the Galaxy S20 and S21, we launched the Knox Vault, which is really a secure processor with a secure memory to even have another level of hardware security on our devices for securing your credentials, passwords, certificates, and anything else that needs what I call a super secure vault-like security. On top of our secure platform, we've also developed a number of IT solutions to help you secure, manage, and deploy our devices. Together with VMware, we work with them to offer as much as we can a single pane of glass to have all our services offered through VMware Workspace ONE. And over the years, as we work with VMware, our devices together with our services have been utilized in all kinds of use cases for government organizations, and we have security certifications from several governments all over the world. We are also approved for classified and unclassified use in the US government. Next slide, please. So as we worked with VMware to offer, the most secure solution, we moved over a few years ago towards productivity, and if you don't know about a Samsung desktop experience, it's called Samsung DeX, where you can use your PC, your phone as a PC essentially. So once you connect a Samsung Galaxy phone to a monitor or a desktop, monitor or TV also with the HDMI cable, it turns into a desktop-like experience where you can use a keyboard and mouse to navigate through your applications, and each app functions like a different window. So this is great, as you know, in this new world when everybody is working from home or remotely, or going forward, what we're talking of is a hybrid workforce. Everybody needs access to all their applications and data and company information anywhere really, whether they be at home or they are outside somewhere else or they're at work. We together with VMware are enabling our customers to be totally enabled to do that very efficiently, and DeX is part of that story. So next slide, please. So as we evolve DeX, the latest with the Note 20, one of the key features we launched is Wireless Dex, where you don't even need a cable. You can directly wirelessly connect to a TV, for example, and have a WebEx or a Zoom or whatever you use a video call, giving you a very immersive experience for your work calls. We also have the DeX experience on our flagship tablets. So you can use a tablet with a keyboard, and the DeX experience is on the tablet itself. We also introduced a ruggedized line of devices. So our Tab Active 3 also has DeX capabilities, which essentially gives an opportunity for new use cases in a completely new segment around retail, where the need is to have a ruggedized device, but at the same time lower the total cost of ownership with one device that can do everything around, say, scanning or use as an MPOS device and other things. So next slide, please. As we have evolved DeX, we also worked with VMware at launch of this together, so that VMware Horizon, which is the VDI product from VMware, works really well with Samsung DeX. And really, what this allows is to use your Windows desktop, which is running in the cloud, to be used in a really nice way, in a seamless way, with a keyboard and a mouse on your with the DeX experience. So you have your applications running in the cloud, delivered over VDI to your phone with the Horizon app, and this is running in DeX mode, side by side with your Windows app. This is really a unique capability that is offered only on Samsung devices, and essentially gives you access to all of your new and legacy Windows applications together with your Android applications, so that you're most productive at work. So next slide, please. So with that, without me talking, I'll talk. We'll introduce a video just now with another partner from our European organization, Comms. This is a secure voice video collaboration solution with secure messaging, secure conferencing, and you will see how this enables remote work very seamlessly together with VMware.
Today's powerful smartphones and tablets are set to replace the traditional PC for many professionals, introducing a new era of mobile-only computing, working from home, new office ideas, and hot desks. As Samsung Knox platform enables you to configure, enroll, manage, and secure your device, it also sets out how Samsung DeX platform allows you to leverage Galaxy smartphones and tablets to drive both on-the-go and desktop computing capabilities. Samsung DeX platform is built into the software of many of the latest Samsung Galaxy mobile devices. All you need to get started using DeX are HDMI monitor, HDMI adapter, and peripherals. There are many possibilities of using partner peripherals for the DeX connections. They come in all shapes and sizes for the best fit for purpose of the user. The mobile desktop environment enables you to use your mobile device just as you would use your computer. The DeX is also supported by our wide variety of partners, such as VDI and secure communication solutions. At the same time, the mobility of the device is not lost, and you can still use the features like camera and biometric authentication. Samsung lets you enjoy the full possibilities of the mobile, enhanced with security provided by Knox and usability supported by DeX. The ecosystem provided by our partners with hardware and software solutions enables you to fully experience the desktop environment with quick setup time and simplified connectivity.
So as you can see, you just saw the DeX Experience, and this is a great way to enable your entire workforce to work from anywhere together and give them access to all their applications, be it on Windows or be it on Android. All your employees have everything that they need for work in the palm of their hand. Next slide, please. So with this, we are evolving Knox. So we focused over the last several years on enterprise and had great success in the regulated vertical with federal and finance and even healthcare to a certain extent. And now we're evolving into what we call the frontline worker enablement. With VMware, we've done a lot of things around this, but this is really around evolution of Knox in this direction. Knox is evolving into, being able to work with all your accessories that are used by frontline workers. We have a tactical edition for our government customers that is really unique for this. Next slide, please. One of the latest services that we offer, software solution that we offer and we launched recently is Knox Capture, which is a scanning solution. What this allows you to do is it enables you to have any new workflow in an app be enabled with scanning without really making a change to the app. So as you know, in these changing times, scanning has become a major thing. You probably cannot enter the office without scanning a QR code. You cannot, in certain places, enter a restaurant without scanning a QR code. And these things are changing day by day. So it's difficult for our customers to keep up. But with Knox Capture, they can easily, fill in the result of a scan of different kinds of barcodes with Knox Capture into an existing workflow. Wherever you are making an entry using a keyboard, you can actually quickly launch this scanner with the push of a button on our Xcover Pro, or use this keyboard wedge shortcut that we have to incorporate scanning. So this really makes our ruggedized set of devices really good for frontline workers. It's just one device that meets your scanning needs. You can have push to talk together with fully secure and managed device. Giving, having a device that is also a work device, but then it's a device that can be used for personal use, giving your employees a great experience who are frontline workers and really helping you retain your employees also. So with that, I will pass on to Eric Stillman at VMware, who will talk more about what we've done together and give you a good view of how to utilize VMware Workspace ONE together with Samsung to enable all of these things. Over to you, Eric.
Great, thank you, Gurvesh. Hey everyone, my name is Eric Stillman, Senior Product Manager at VMware. So we'll get started by talking about the overall Knox portfolio and the several integration points between Samsung and VMware to take advantage of all of the tools that's available with the Knox platform. So starting out from a deployment perspective, we have the Knox mobile enrollment solution. This is really one of the best ways to massively deploy devices on a global scale. It allows you to essentially automatically enroll devices out in the field. You don't need an IT admin on site. It's very easy, just connect the device to Wi-Fi. The device is pre-registered in the Knox mobile enrollment portal, and it's pre-configured with credentials and everything that allow users to simply click through a few buttons and get their devices enrolled and managed. After deployment, we go into management, which combines both Knox technologies and Workspace ONE UEM. So we have first the Knox service plugin, which is really the best way to take advantage of all of the tools available through the Knox platform. And the Knox service plugin, because it uses application configuration, also known as OEM configuration or OEM config, you're able to take advantage of every Knox feature essentially that's available through Knox service plugin on the same day without having to update a console or update your Workspace ONE management application. Everything is data-driven and displayed in real time. So when you view the configuration for Knox service plugin, you're always viewing the latest set of settings available. Following that, we combine the flexible management of Android Enterprise. Through Workspace ONE, you're able to support just about any use case of management, ranging from a frontline worker with a fully managed device to a knowledge worker device where you have some personal access on the device, all the way to a BYOD mode where you can have what's called a work profile to separate your work and personal data on the device. And then there's even a lighter management mode called registered mode, which allows secure access to work applications and data without doing any additional management on the device. And finally, to fully manage firmware updates on devices, you have Knox ePhoto 1. And this integrates with Workspace ONE to allow very granular update control on devices, just to make sure anytime an update becomes available, the IT admin is able to test out that update, make sure all of their applications are compatible, and get that rolling. Additionally, there's controls that we'll discuss a little bit more. And finally, all of this is built on top of the Knox platform, which is available on just about every Samsung device or Samsung Android device. And a lot of this is also built on top of Android Enterprise technology, which allows for those different management modes on the device. So let's go into the next slide, talk a little bit more about Knox Platform for Enterprise. So Knox Platform for Enterprise is really a robust solution. It's baked into not just the software, but the hardware level itself. So it's extremely high level of security on the device. It's used by government organizations around the world. It's trusted by those IT admins that need the highest possible level of security on their devices. And there's a very large set of features available as Samsung has been building this up for, as Gurvesh said, close to 10 years now, maybe longer than that. So it's extremely robust. There's tons of features available to support all different kinds of use cases. So just at a high level, there's things like VPN controls, dual encryption of data. You can do deep customization on the device, control how the device connects through DeX mode. You can do additional app management controls. There's remote control, which we'll talk about in a little bit with our Workspace ONE Assist solution. And there's other things like universal credential management, which allows for more simple management of credentials such as smart cards on the device, and additional certificate controls as well. And all of this is available through the Knox service plugin, which I'll go into a little more detail in a little bit. Looking at the next slide, we'll take a look at the Workspace ONE UEM platform, what options are available to you. So we are an Android Enterprise recommended platform for Android device management. And so we support every Android Enterprise management mode that's available. And all of these are listed here. So the first one is fully managed. This is an enrollment mode where the device is enrolled fresh out of the box from a factory state. And there's a number of different enrollment modes. Knox Mobile Enrollment is one of those to get the device into this fully managed state. And this is good for situations where the devices are, company owned. A lot of times they're shared devices that could be used by, multiple users, or they could be dedicated work devices. So this is probably the best for that frontline worker type of scenario where the administrator needs complete control over that device. Next, you have work profile, which is essentially, I bring my own device to work and I'm able to enroll it into my company's MDM. And you get a work profile on your device, which can have, different applications pushed down to it, certificates, and everything you need to get access to be able to do your work on your phone. And because it creates a separate space entirely on your device, there's no combination or the work and personal data is completely separate. So there's no way for your personal apps or your personal data to get funneled into your or mixed into your work data. And the IT admin has no visibility into your personal data. So all of that stays secure. The end user has peace of mind that their devices and their privacy is still safe. Next, you have cope mode, which was available in Android 8, 9, and 10. It changed a little bit in Android 11, but essentially what it is a hybrid between fully managed and work profile. So on cope, the device is fully managed. It's enrolled out of the box from a factory state, but the admin does allow the user to have some personal data on the device. So there's still a separate work profile for work applications. And there's also a personal profile. However, because that device is fully managed, maybe there's not as much separation of personal data or privacy on that device, because the administrator does have some more administrative and managerial controls over the device. And finally, with Android 11 and higher, this new mode is called company-owned work profile. You may also see this called COPE v2 or COPE 2.0, but it's essentially COPE mode where the device is enrolled out of the box and it sets up a work profile, but the personal side of the device has enhanced privacy. And what that means is there's a little bit less control that the administrator has over the personal side. So while the device is still technically company-owned, there's a little bit more peace of mind on the end user side, and they're still able to trust that any personal data that they put on that device is going to be safe. And finally, Workspace ONE as a platform offers a variety of different productivity applications. We have our tunnel application, that's a VPN application that we provide. There's Boxer for email, content for securely pushing content to devices or various files. Workspace ONE Assist is a remote troubleshooting application where the administrator is able to view and control the end user screen. In some cases, with or without the end user requiring to be on the device, just for remote troubleshooting purposes. And finally, Workspace ONE Launcher, which is best for our frontline worker use case, where you're able to fully customize the user experience on the device. That includes what apps the user has access to, what the layout looks like of the launcher itself, and you can fully customize the experience and also make it consistent across all devices so that no matter which device a user picks up, it's always going to look the same. So we can look at the next slide. So go a little deeper into Knox Mobile Enrollment. So Knox Mobile Enrollment, there's several different options. You're able to enroll devices out of the box into both fully managed mode, it's also called device owner mode, or the COPE and WPC, or work profile in a company-owned device mode for Android 11 and higher. So a lot of flexibility with the actual enrollments. There's additional options for setting up the device. We also even support staging users. And a staging user is, you could think of it as a partial device enrollment. So the device will be enrolled and under management, but the end user has not fully signed in yet. So the staging user allows you to push some basic default policies to the device and just get the user ready for the get the device ready for the end user. Once the user picks up that device, they'll be prompted to sign in with their own credentials. Additionally, because the device is registered in the cloud and it enrolls automatically, if a device does get reset in an attempt maybe to steal the device, or if a device gets lost, it'll always go back through that same enrollment. So there's no way essentially to get the device out of management. It's always going to be registered, and it's always going to enroll right out of the box, and make sure that that device remains secure. We can go to the next slide, talk more about Knox Service Plugin. So as I said before, Knox Service Plugin is based on OEM config. And OEM config is essentially a way for OEMs to utilize the app configuration technology that Google provides within Android and Google Play to be able to configure these applications to control OEM specific capabilities. So in the case of Knox Service Plugin, we use app configuration to control those Knox configurations that are available through the platform. The way this works is the Knox Service Plugin app is available on Google Play. It's a free application. It utilizes whatever existing license key that you have on the device. So you'll have your Knox license key activated through Workspace ONE UEM. And once KSP is installed, you'll be able to, or it'll be able to take advantage of all of those features. In the Workspace ONE UEM console itself, this is where you'll be able to view the configuration, and you'll be able to see all of the latest policies that are available every time you view that configuration. And it has controls for fully managed mode, work profile mode. There's all different security and Wi-Fi controls, DeX controls, customization. It's very cool to just go play around and see what's available to you. And lastly, the feedback channel is another technology that essentially allows Knox Service Plugin to report what what policies were successfully applied or which ones failed and why those failed. So you'll be able to view the feedback in Workspace ONE UEM to be able to quickly detect if there were any errors. And the console will even notify you if an error was reported, just to easily go and check and see, oh, I see an error. I can view the feedback, see what's wrong. And from there, you can very easily go and fix if it was a configuration problem or something else. It's very detailed and allows you to quickly address any issues that may occur. And finally, or sorry, for the next slide, we can take a look at a feature within Knox Service plugin. This is new for Android 11. This is something called separated apps. So this is with work managed or fully managed mode only. You've also seen this called device owner mode. But basically, this is a way to support a use case where a lot of customers want to fully secure their device. They want the device fully managed, but they want a separate space just for apps that are either for personal use or for apps that are extra ultra high security applications. So it's not necessarily a personal space on the device like what you would have with Cope, where the user can download personal apps or whatever apps that they want. This is more apps that are approved by the IT administrator. And these are apps that could be used for work in most cases, but may have some personal data. Things like, your airline apps, you have your own personal Delta account or United or Southwest, etc. You might have your own Uber account, but you may also have a work Uber account. And there could be other applications that the IT admin could approve for use on these devices. And this is fully customizable and configurable in Knox Service plugin. You just need to enable the separated apps. And then within the policy, you can select how you want those apps to be separated. And you just list out the applications that you'd like to approve. And those applications will be downloaded by the user through the Google Play Store. And once they're installed, they'll be moved into that separated apps folder. And once they're in that folder, it's essentially like a container where the data is not shared between that separated apps folder and the rest of the device. So the data in those apps does remain secure. And it just gives the administrator a little bit more flexibility with the user experience. And lastly, we can take a look at Knox ePhoto on the next slide. So Knox ePhoto allows very granular and robust control over firmware updates. So if an update comes out that may have a lot of changes to it, let's say this is going from Android 10 to Android 11, those are very major changes, and I as an IT admin would want to know that all my apps are still going to work after my devices update. I'd be afraid if this update is getting released and I have no way to stop it. All my devices are getting updated in the field and I have no idea what's going to happen. Knox ePhoto allows you to basically halt that update, test it on a few devices, make sure everything's good to go. And once that update is approved, then you can create an update campaign to get this update rolled out across your device fleet. Additionally, let's say a critical security patch gets released. It has a critical bug fix that you need, or there's a security vulnerability that you need fixed. You want to get that update pushed out as quickly as possible. You don't want to wait to have it tested. You just know that you need to get it out there. Knox ePhoto allows you to do that too. So it'll work for security patches, major updates, and any kind of software or firmware update on the device. As far as the update options, you can do things like scheduling a specific date and time. You can select if you want to use Wi-Fi only, or if you're okay with downloading over cellular. And you can even set a battery percentage for just to make sure that the devices have sufficient battery before going and installing that update. And then as far as the integration with Workspace ONE UEM, the Knox FODA will actually do a registration with Workspace ONE using Workspace ONE's REST APIs. And Knox FODA actually pulls in device data of enrolled devices in your environment. And it'll sync all of those devices, and that's how it's able to display to you what updates are relevant to you. The registration is very simple, and there's a helpful video out on YouTube that will show you how to do this in very simple steps. So that wraps it up for my part. I'll pass it over to Kenny. Thank you very much.
All right, great. Thanks, Eric. So thanks actually, Eric and Gurvesh, for both walking us through the joint VMware and Samsung solutions. So we, as mentioned previously, we've been working together for a long time on these integrations between the VMware EUC products like Workspace ONE and Horizon, along with the Samsung Knox, DeX, and Samsung's devices. So through all this work, we've been able to deliver powerful user experiences across multiple use cases and deployment types. So today I'm happy to talk about how together we can deliver an unmatched solution for frontline or rugged use cases. So Samsung's ruggedized mobile devices, so their Xcover smartphones and Galaxy Tab active devices, these are built to meet the physical demands of mission-critical use cases and enables frontline workers to perform essential tasks from anywhere, really. And so with VMware's Workspace ONE, we can stage, manage, and support these devices throughout their life cycle, and again, to deliver an exceptional worker experience. Next slide, please. And the goals with our joint solutions around frontline and ruggedized use cases. So essentially, we want to increase frontline worker productivity, through improving the employee experience. So providing everything that our frontline workers need to get their job done and do it with as little disruption as possible. And with the Samsung ruggedized devices, it comes in a form factor that they're used to just with everyday smartphones or tablets. And so we're also looking to reduce IT procurement and support costs. And so with the secure, scalable infrastructure of Workspace ONE, we can accomplish that, and ultimately will also result in greater visibility and simplified management with our unified endpoint management capabilities. So while I'm talking about frontline and ruggedized use cases, the management of Workspace ONE doesn't stop there. So we can also use that across all other devices for the enterprise. Next slide, please. So I really like this slide. So just looking at one frontline worker use case. So looking at retail, I like this slide because it shows all the different ways that our joint solutions can be applied to the different needs of retail. And this of course is looking at the pre-pandemic view, but it still applies today, even though our retail has adapted to some of the changes that we've seen around the world. So Samsung devices managed by Workspace ONE can be used in each of the use cases here, whether that's mobile or virtual point of sale solutions, or as we see, immersive employee training or augmented reality experiences. So today, some of those capabilities, again, have been adapted a bit, but the technology continues to support these modern retail use cases. So what I want to do with the next slide is look a little bit deeper into how those are being put to work. And so Gurvesh talked a little bit about the new Knox Capture app. So one of the ways that we see this working, so the Knox Capture app, the application can actually be deployed through Workspace ONE, and even the configuration can be pushed down from that same Workspace ONE UEM console. So this would enable the Samsung ruggedized devices to be used for multi-purpose scanning, and you don't need that additional dedicated scanning device. So everything can be done just from that one device. Again, that's familiar form factor. That's something that everyone uses in their everyday life. So the capabilities here, you can use this for stock management using the barcode scanner. And again, wouldn't have to switch devices or look around for a dedicated device for that. And so another of our joint solutions with Workspace ONE Launcher and kiosk mode these can be used to lock down a device for specific use cases. So whether that's locking it down to a single application or just or a number of applications that are assigned to a specific user or specific job role, can allow the employees to navigate an in-store kiosk, or if it's a single application also, perhaps customers would also be able to use that as a tablet device set up in the store. So this can be used for either an inventory check from a database or possibly a mobile point of sale for on-site checkout. And finally, I wanted to mention the configurable physical key on the X-Cover device. And so this can be used for push to talk, as mentioned previously, or you can actually reconfigure this device to launch an application. This is something that can be configured by user. So any application that makes sense for the use case and be deployed through Workspace ONE. So again, all of this is possible due to the ongoing work between VMware and Samsung with a shared focus on frontline use cases. So things that we're doing, of course, apply beyond frontline, but a lot of what we're focused on right now is being able to deliver these types of experiences for our frontline workers. Next slide, please. So I also wanted to kind of expand this and talk about the VMware Anywhere Workspace. So you may or may not have heard about this initiative, but essentially, so organizations globally, as we all know, we're embracing a shift towards flexible work styles and overall a more distributed workforce. So this means enabling a multimodal work style that's tailored to the employee, their roles and needs. Now that could be, again, it could be a knowledge worker or it could be frontline employees. And they could work either from home, on the road, perhaps in the office or a retail location, or a combination of all these locations. So employee sentiment towards workplace flexibility and the role of technology in enabling these multimodal work styles, these are creating new opportunities for organizations to enable greater employee engagement and drive efficiencies and growth. And in this new reality, there's no real defined perimeter. So employees work from anywhere, and even beyond that, they could be on personally owned devices or corporate owned devices, which makes it hard to pin down policies and management, policies for management and security. And even beyond that, applications are becoming more diverse and harder to manage too. So in turn, this leads to challenges like fragmented security, suboptimal performance, and just overall operational complexity. So what we're doing with the Anywhere Workspace is delivering an integrated solution that's designed to meet the challenges that we're talking about from today's distributed workforce. So on this slide, it kind of just gives you an overview, but the goal with the Anywhere Workspace is a three-way goal, really, so multiple objectives. But we want to put employees first with device choice, flexibility, and seamless, consistent, high-quality experiences. So we do this by managing multimodal employee experiences. The second part is to ease the move to zero trust with situational intelligence and connected control points. And we do this by delivering security as a distributed service, so securing the distributed edge. And finally, managing outcomes rather than tasks. So automating the workspace with intelligence-based automation allows us to do this. So the way that the VMware Anywhere Workspace will achieve these outcomes is by combining 3 of our industry-leading products. So VMware Carbon Black, which brings cloud-native endpoint protection. VMware Workspace ONE provides unified endpoint management, but also virtualization and a variety of employee experience, productivity, and security-related solutions. And then VMware SASE, which brings zero trust security and network performance management. So bringing all that together, can you go to the next slide, please? I think there's one more slide here. So we're excited because our ongoing work with Samsung has really uncovered how deeply rooted we are with them and the common objectives that we have, and we can continue to build together through the Anywhere Workspace initiative. So we know Knox for a long time has delivered leading security, and like VMware, they're committed to continued excellence. So they've done this through by further securing the end-to-end workspace experience with things like Gurvesh mentioned with Knox Vault, or whether that's biometric security features and Knox Business Services. So I'm really excited to see where we go. I just wanted to mention this before we go because I do feel that VMware and Samsung are well aligned in this Anywhere Workspace direction that we're moving. And before we wrap up, I also did want to make sure I mentioned to everyone that VMworld is going to be virtual again this year, and it's going to be hosted from October 5th to 7th, depending on your location. It could be the 6th. So this is our big event, our big annual event, where we'll have thousands of customers and partners, including Samsung, who will be one of our big partners for this event this year. So there'll be VMware executives, industry leaders, and best in field knowledge experts there. So registration is now open. The general track is free, but you do have to register and you can go to vmworld.com. I think we'll reach out with some additional details, but general registration, the general track will get you access to general sessions, solution keynotes, breakout sessions, which includes partner tracks, plenty of demos, hands-on labs, and more. So hundreds of hours of content is how they sell it, but definitely wanted to let you guys know that registration is open and it is virtual, but registration for the general track is free. So I think we can end on that.
Thank you very much, Kenny, Gurvesh, and Eric, for your presentation. It seems that the better new normal means going fully mobile. It was very interesting to have the chance to hear your presentations and to get all of the information. Basically, this is the time when we can have some short Q&A session. We have still 7 minutes left, so if there are any questions, that's the time. You can easily ask them by using the question tab. I think that most of our speakers will be more than happy to answer your questions. Or if any of our speakers want to add something just before we end, that's the right time. If not, then thank you all for attending our webinar. Gurvesh, do you want to add something?
Thanks everyone for attending. And as you saw, we're working closely with VMware, not just on what we have, but what's coming in the future. And as you can see, the direction that VMware is headed towards with their Anywhere Workspace is totally aligned with how we see things going forward, where there's a strong focus on security. At the same time, we want to enable our customers to offer the best experience for their employees and you will have that. You'll see that Samsung devices will work and have the best experience compared to any other device when it comes to working with VMware. So thank you all for attending this webinar. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And looking forward to having an update in the near future once we have new things later in the year. Thanks, everyone.
Once again, thank you very much for attending the webinar. Thank you to all of our speakers for great presentations, and see you soon on the next one. Goodbye.